joined now by Nadim Houry, who's the Executive Director of the think tank, the Arab Initiative. Nadim Houry, thank you very much for speaking to us. We were hearing earlier there from our correspondent about some of the possibilities of figures who may come forward to be the next Prime Minister. What do you see happening next politically in Lebanon?
I see the void increasing in the coming weeks because what the real crisis in Lebanon is not one of government, it's one of governance, and even I'm going to speak of a crisis of regime. And the current political class, the corrupt political class, was basically found no use anymore to this government that they had put in place. I suspect they are meeting behind the scenes to try to cook something else. At the same time, the protesters want a radical change, a new form of government that's chosen on very different basis. Which vision is going to win the next round? We will have to see, but it's up for grabs. You know, the problem in Lebanon is we are witnessing the end of an era, the end of a system that is incapable anymore of governing, that is incapable of delivering any basic services, and that we have seen is also actually capable of killing its own citizens. And meanwhile, we're seeing the beginning of a birth of an alternative, which is not yet materialized. And so between what ends and what begins, we're stuck in that vacuum. We're stuck in that challenge. And it's going to be a tough decision for any government that comes. And I hope it will be an independent government that is outside the political class and that can help steer the sinking ship that Lebanon is today through the next 18 months to 2 years.
Is that possible, though, given the constitutional restrictions or constitutional, I suppose, system that exists in Lebanon for choosing a government? Can such an independent government be formed?
Yes, I mean, I think constitutionally it's possible. And the challenge is, can it be done politically? Because the current parliament is dominated by the existing political class, and they will not want to cede power. But you can imagine, I think the search should not be for talented individuals. The search should be for what is the program, what is the platform, what is the agenda to rescue Lebanon. And then you can actually build a team that can have the trust, first and foremost, of the Lebanese, and two, actually of the international community. Now, to reach that point, to build this independent government that has this trust, you somehow have to convince the existing political class, the oligarchs, to actually sit this one out. Can we do that? I think I can see one scenario where this could succeed, which is the street pressure continues unabated, as we're seeing right now. And in parallel to this street pressure, we actually see international pressure on the oligarchs, potentially threatening their ill-gotten gains and assets outside of Lebanon if they don't give a chance for a proper salvation government. The idea is not to actually exile them all from politics. We cannot do that. They will have a chance to contest the next elections in 2 or 3 years. But the priority right now is to get them to lift their hands off the government to allow actually someone to save the sinking ship.
OK, Nadim Houry from the Arab Reform Initiative, thank you very much for your insights.